Meta launched Threads to kill Twitter. Instead, it killed momentum, user trust, and any hope of retention. Fastest app to hit 100 million signups, and just as fast to be forgotten. So what really went wrong? Well, grab your roadmap because we are gonna tear this thing apart. Let's start with the basics. Threads wasn't built to win, it was built not to lose. That's an important difference because when you build something to not lose market share, what you usually ship is a Frankenstein of internal bets, executive paranoia, and a prayer that scale with fix the strategy later. And Threads, it's textbook. You open the app and boom, deja vu. It looks like Twitter, it feels like Twitter, but somehow it has the emotional depth of a PowerPoint placeholder. Now let's talk onboarding, because Threads pulled off something amazing. It made onboarding too easy and somehow still confusing. Remember when you first opened Threads? You logged in with Instagram, great, seamless, and then do you want to follow all your Instagram contacts on Threads? Sure, I guess. But here is the catch, most of them aren't there. And if they are, they haven't posted. Or worse, they posted once, got no likes and ghosted. So now you have followed 200 people and your feed looks like a tumbleweed convention because Threads synced your connections but forgot to sync their behavior. This is what product managers call a false start. Looks like progress, smells like growth, but under the hood it's dead weight. And retention? Spoiler, people don't stick around for blank feeds. But it got better. Let's talk about content, or more accurately, content chaos, because Threads made the same mistake every meta product makes when it's panicking. It confused engagement with volume. Instead of helping you find people you care about, Threads threw you into a dumpster fire of crypto bros, fake Elon quotes, recycled tweets and LinkedIn vibes. You want a culture? Too bad. You want a tech news? Here is a post from some guy with 12 followers and a podcast no one asked for. That's not a discovery algorithm, that's a desperation algorithm. And Meta knows it. That's why the feed started filling up with Instagram influencers pretending to be witty. The problem? Nobody asked for that. Threads is a text-first platform trying to be cool in a way that feels like your dad joining a meme war. And then there is the elephant in the room. There is no DMs, no trending topics, no real-time search, no hashtags that work. You launched a Twitter clone without the thing that made Twitter usable. And users noticed. DAUs dropped off a cliff after the first week. Even Meta stopped talking about Threads in earnings calls. So what do you do when your engagement graph looks like a ski slope? You jam the app back into Instagram and hope no one minds, because nothing says we believe in the product like duct taping it to another one. But that's just one part of the problem, so let's keep going. Because once you are past the sad onboarding and the content graveyard, another problem hits you right in the face. What even is Threads? Is it a Twitter alternative? Is it an Instagram extension? Is it a place for kind conversations as Sank once claimed? Or is it just Meta playing whack-a-mole with Elon's chaos? The lack of identity? That's a product killer, because if your team can't agree on what the app is for, your users sure as hell won't know either. And Threads never picked a lane. It tried to be the anti-Twitter while looking exactly like Twitter. It tried to be text first, while dragging in influencers known for selfies. It promised a more positive experience, but then fed you the same rage-bait engagement loops we have seen 1,000 times before. No focus, no edge, no core use case, and when there is no anchor, you drift. But wait, let's talk features, or more specifically the whiplash of features. Because once the DAUs started tanking, Threads hit the panic button. Suddenly it was weekly updates. New tabs, new filters, a reverse cron feed, a following-only feed, a for you feed that wasn't for you at all, post editing, context labels, web version, GIF support, API coming soon, DMs someday maybe, and a decentralized protocol, because why not? It's what product teams call feature failing. You are not iterating, you are spamming. You are not solving problems, you are hoping one feature lands before the user bail. And guess what? Creators felt that. They showed up early because Meta hyped it as the next big platform, but then they saw the reality. No monetization, no scheduling tools, no engagement feedback loops, no serious roadmap. So creators left quietly, they stopped posting, they stopped linking, they ghosted. And that's a death sentence in a social product, because when the people making content leave, everyone else follows. The algorithm tried to mask it. More suggestions, more filler. Push notifications turned into needy act behavior. Someone you follow might have posted. Don't miss what's happening on threads. What's happening? Nothing. What am I missing? Also nothing. You can't A/B test your way out of irrelevance. Retention didn't drop, it collapsed. And here is the kicker, Meta knew it, but instead of fixing the foundation, they just kept shipping cosmetic patches. Because in a culture addicted to quarterly metrics, optics matter more than experience. So the real question is, why does Meta keep doing this to itself? Alright, let's talk about the real villain here. Not threads, Meta. Because threads isn't some one-off screw-up, it's part of a pattern, a long glorious lineage of products built on impulse, ego, and internal OKRs. Let's go down memory lane, shall we? Remember Facebook paper? Of course you don't. It was 2014's reimagining of the newsfeed, because the team thought the app wasn't beautiful enough. Gorgeous UI, incredible gestures, but no one used it. Why? Because it didn't solve a user problem, it solved a design team's itch. How about Slingshot? Meta's a Snapchat killer, but with a twist. You couldn't view a message unless you sent one back. Oh yes, because if there is one thing users love, it's being held emotionally hostage by an app. That one lasted maybe 2 months. Then came IGTV, the vertical video savior, except it launched without monetization, without proper creator tools, and without vertical video demand. It was too different from YouTube and too awkward from Instagram. Even the name felt like a pitch deck artifact someone forgot to change. And now, Threads. Built in the same lab, rushed out of fear, hyped with scale, and abandoned by its own creators before the ink dried on the launch post. So why does this keep happening? Because Meta isn't shipping products, it's shipping defensive moves. Every new launch is a counterpunch. Snapchat copies stories, TikTok reels, Twitter implodes, launch threads. They don't ask what unique value can we create. They ask how fast can we make a clone and brute force it into relevance. And look, cloning can work, but only when you respect the context of the original. TikTok isn't just short videos, it's an entire creator economy, algorithmic culture and feedback loop. Reels copied the format but missed the soul. Twitter wasn't just a feed, it was real-time conversation, inside jokes, breaking news, and a collective brain dump for the internet's weirdest corners. Threads copied the UI but missed the chaos, and the chaos is what made Twitter sticky. Here is the deeper issue, Meta is too big to listen. It's a company of org charts, not instincts, where alignment beats inside. Where greenlighting in a product is more about stakeholder appeasement than user empathy. Once you build something, you need buy-in from brands, integrity, growth, legal, and then one director who still thinks Clubhouse is a thing. By the time you ship, it's a committee-designed camel wrapped in a growth slide. And it shows. Threads didn't need more features, it needed a soul, it needed a reason to exist besides Twitter week let's go. But Meta doesn't have a culture of building for community, it has a culture of metrics cosplay. DAUs, MAUs, time spent, the numbers go up, the bonuses go out. But users, they leave. Because people can feel when a product was made out of panic. They can feel the lack of conviction, and no amount of onboarding polished to machine learning pixie dust can fix that. You can retroactively inject purpose into something that was born from fear. And that's the lesson here. If your product exists only because your competitor stumbled, if your roadmap is just a reskinned version of someone else's playbook, if your only strategy is ship fast, figure it out later, then don't be shocked when users try it once and never come back.
I may never come back.
Yogi and I will be waiting for you.